Vinny got ahead of me. Say hi, Vinny.
Hello.
Vinny got ahead with stripping the door down. Basically, what we got going on is we're going to put a security door right over here. He's going to feel better with having some security, you know, there. And we bought the heaviest security door we could buy. So we'll be installing that. Let me work around the front here and I'll show you what we mean. Anyway, he's kind of tightened it up right here to make it better for himself, or make him feel better. So with a security door, because it is all busted up right here too as well, we're going to put a new jamb. Once we do the security door, we'll replace the jamb. We didn't want to replace the jamb and then do the door, vice versa, because, you know, it might break it again. So anyway, we're going to get this job started. And we did get this home. We bought the heaviest duty, most security door that they sell at Home Depot. It had to be special order because it's a 30-inch. Alright guys, we'll get started. You can see how wide this is. I'll show you the door. You'll see it when we install it, but I just thought while he's setting up the tripod, I'll take you over and show it to you. As you can see here, it's one of the heaviest models right here. It's called the Superior, I believe it's called. But alright, well, we'll get this up and installed. Okay guys, these doors come with their own little tool. They never used to give you a tool. You usually had to just use a big straight slot screwdriver or one of these guys. Now I have one of these because back in the day this is the way you put them on. The tool they give you is a disposable throwaway. I guess you could keep it, but in here you can see where that's just a straight slot and it catches like that. I'm sorry, it's just a straight slot and it catches like that. This one is a little bit different. It has more of a shape of the screw. I don't know if you can see that. So if you look at the screw and look at the, it gives you a little bit more firmer grip. It gives you a little bit more detail as to the formality of the screw. It'll get in there and kind of lock it in there better, and you have less chance of stripping it and scratching it here. But either way, you have it, and they give it to you, and you can use that. I'll be using mine, of course, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, we brought the door in. As you can see, it's a nice door. What you want to do is you want to pre-drill these screws. If you try to drive them in, number one, you're going to splinter shit and break it. You don't want to do that unless you're on the stucco side, which you hardly ever are. You're sometimes right dead between the stucco molding and the stucco. But anyway, I pre-drill everything. I just use a masonry bit, whether I'm going through the wood or whether I'm going through the stucco or partially. I just run it through. It'll make it through. The reason why you do that is because, number one, you'll crack everything up and it won't turn out nice, and you'll lose, if you start splitting wood, you lose the security of the screw, you know. It doesn't have the same strength. So I try to take the screw and get the drill bit the same size as the shaft minus the threads. So whatever that shaft size is minus the threads is what I usually drill out, and then you get a nice firm grip. And the other reason why I do that is because if you try to drill this in straight or too tight of a hole, your tip will just strip and you'll end up with this thing all ground up. It'll be looking like shit. You'll have to get some touch-up paint and touch up the paint, you know. So it's better to have it go in. Nobody's going to rip it out. You can't even put a crowbar in there and rip it. It'll be tight enough, as you'll see in the video. So let's get some drills that will work with this and we'll go from there. Hey guys, I really like this Bosch setup. It's a quick way to get to some masonry bits, and it's good for your impact and everything else. So basically what I do is I just find the same shaft size, and I kind of know which one I use all the time. It's this guy right here. It's slightly smaller. Actually, I'm wrong. It's this one. You can see it's used the most. It's the same size. Am I in the...
No, because you're holding it sideways.
Okay.
There's a stick mark?
Yeah. guys, this is the same size. Make sure I'm in here, guys. This is the same size as the shaft on this security bolt right here. So when I drill this hole, it'll still have room for the threads to grab. And this will make it so you don't screw this head up, because if it's too tight, your bit's going to just screw the hell out of this, and you're going to put a pair of vice grips, take it out, buy another one. I'm always out of picture here. All right, well, my apologies in case I am out of screen, but you guys know what I'm talking about. The bit, same size as the shaft minus the threads. So there we go. So right there. That's it. We haven't unlocked his back door yet because we don't really know if we need to open his door. That might be wasted time and waste of work if we take it off and then we don't, you know, sometimes you can put these security doors on without the door being open. In this case, we'll try it, and if we need to open it, we'll take everything off on the inside. First thing we're going to do is we're going to set our security screen here, our door, and then we're going to find the height, and then we're going to go ahead and shim the door in place at the height that we want. That way, once we got the height that we want, then we can move it left, we can move it right, and I'll give you further instruction how I do it. It may not be the right way, but it works for me every time. So we'll find the height first, and then we'll find some shims, and then we'll go ahead and move it left, right, and then we'll test to make sure this is going to strike on the right area. And then we'll go from then. What I like to do is I don't even mark the holes, guys. Once I find the spot, I take my drill and I do the center hole first. And then once I do the center hole, I drive one in, and I have the level on it, and I drive one in while Vinny holds it. And then once I get one in, I check it again and make any final adjustments, and then I drill the second one, third one. Next thing you know, I got a hanging door. Then I do this, and then the top. One thing you got to remember though with these guys is you got to make sure that these locks aren't going to hit these locks. If they are going to hit those locks, before you start thinking about flipping it around to this side, what you can do is sometimes you can switch the locks. You can either put this one on top and this one on the bottom, or vice versa over there, and you can get away with keeping the door on the same side, the locks on the same side. But if all else fails, then you can flip, because these doors are universal. There's no left, no right. If you want your locks on this side, you put it this way. You want your locks on the other side, you flip it over like that. And so everything is universal. So I can tell now, because these locks, this one's so low, this one's so high, and that one's there, I think this is going to fit right in the center. I think it's going to be perfect. But if they do hit, you just switch these around, or switch those around, or you know, some funny combination that'll make it work. All right, guys, we're gonna get set up here, and then we'll get back at it. Okay, guys, Vinny's gonna line up the door completely on the cement, and then I'm gonna go up there and find out what the distance is between the top of this door, not this, but because this goes about 1/16 further. This goes a 1/16 further, but this. I'm going to measure the gap between this and the space of the upper stucco molding. And then whatever that is, I'm going to find some shims the same size and get it up there, because I want this part right here to be right in line with the bottom of this stucco molding, or even a little higher. But I don't want the gap too big down here, because these aren't for rats. This ain't going to keep a rat out or bugs. This is to keep people out. You know, they make little trim guards that you can put under there for insects and rats, you know, if you want to, you know, find it online. Home Depot, I even think, has it online that you can do, but that's afterwards. Right now, this is to keep honest people honest, or maybe not so honest people honest, I don't know. Okay, go ahead and set it up there, and let me measure the gap. Okay, so basically, I'm looking at, if I bring it up a 1/2 inch, Vinny, I'll be a 1/16 over the stucco molding, which would be perfect, which makes it easy to find. It's easy to find a 1/2 inch shim. You know what I mean? So let's go find something tilted out, and let's go find something 1/2 inch and put it on the bottom. Okay, guys, I found some shims. These are 1/4 inch shims right here. So 2 quarters make a 1/2. So we'll just stick one underneath the door there. And you're going to put it right on this leg. You see this leg right here, man? Yeah. Because this is raised. The bottom is raised, guys, about a 1/16 to an 1/8. So if I want a 1/2 inch, he's going to stick one under here and one under here, not under the door, because I want the top of this. So basically, let's stand it up, and if you want, I'll stick these under, get it flat to the. Okay, now I'm going to raise it up. Go ahead and raise yours.
Want to line it up first?
Yeah, I mean, we can half-ass. I just want to see.
No, don't half-ass. Like this is too much over to the right.
Yeah, go to the right more. Let's see. I'm going to explain to them how I get a rough idea where to go. Let me just.
Right there.
Okay, let's put this under. Go up. Okay, go down. I think you gotta go more that way. There you go. Okay. This side. Go ahead. Okay. Put it down. Okay, now let's check the gap up there. We should be right on the money. We should be a little 1/16 over. Perfect. Let me get a. Okay, you want to go get a level with a magnet? I got that.
The ones
just,
on the back piece?
No, just the torpedo one.
Okay.
The small one. I'll put it right here.
Okay.
So go ahead. I think we'll stay. Okay, go ahead. Okay, basically that 1/2 inch brought me up right where I needed to be, about a 1/16 past the stucco molding. Now I'm going to kind of give you an idea how I get the sides going. You put your torpedo level right here, and boy, it's level, dead on.
Oh, wow.
Okay, hold this for me so I can take the camera. Okay, guys, watch this. What I do is, this was a fixed piece of metal for the security door. So what I try to do is I try to get equal space, but you got to remember, when you put this on, you got to put a shim on this door, because you don't want this to rub with that. A lot of guys think they've got it right, and they put a little space in there and they estimate it, and they end up screwed up, and then the door rubs. I'll show you how we're going to take care of that. But first, let's get the door where we want it, and then we'll get a couple screws in. We'll go from there. So now what I do is I look over here, and I notice that my piece of metal, if I go like this, I know I want about 1/8 of an inch of a gap in there. And remember, guys, look at the holes here. Whenever you got these right here, you want these holes to the outside, not on the. You don't want those holes here, because your screws will hit the door. You want to flip this around. It's universal, and you want your holes to the outside, so when the door shuts, it doesn't shut on the screws. So now I'm just going to use this just to kind of, and this can sit on the ground, because I'm not trying to go up or down right now. I'm just trying to figure out where it's going to go. Okay, I'm going to tuck that in and see where it hits. It hits about right here. So at least you want to be in the stucco if you can, because you got your king stud and your queen stud, or whatever you want to call it. And you don't really want to secure to the door jamb or the security door, to the jamb or the stucco molding. You'd like to grab some of the 2x4. There's 2 2x4s in there, a king and a queen and all that other bullshit. So with that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and move this over slightly, because I'm way over. Actually, if I put the screw out, yeah, I'm way over in the stucco, so I'm going to move this over just a hair.
Which way?
That way.
I'll do it for you.
Okay. About like that. Now, I'll be coming in right on the stucco. I'll be hitting the king stud or the 2x4 in there. That's right. I'll be going right between the jamb and the 2x4 most likely. And then this being out, this is squished all the way in. Well, we're not. We're going to bring this out at 1/8. So to me, this looks pretty damn good. So what we're going to do here, we're going to move this guy out, and then we're going to push this door in, and this one, so it looks right. Now the way it looks right is when this piece here gets in line, when this piece right here gets in line with this, or where this is going to set, which is about right. And you can see here it's kind of flat and nice. It's not this way or that way. So this is where the door is going to go. So we're going to go ahead and pre-drill this guy and put one here, and then we're going to level it even more, but it's already level. Let me get a drill. Okay, when you drill this, guys, you can use your impact, as long as you got your 1/4 inch impact That's what I like about these Bosch drill bits. Just go here and put it here. And then now we'll just pre-drill it. And I like to go the length. I like to go almost the full length minus the bar, so about right here. So let's see what we get here. And I want to find the center of the hole. I don't want to go top or bottom because that's going to raise my door, lower the door. I try to get it as center as possible right there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the security bolt. You can use your DeWalt or whatever you guys use, and I put it on the 1 setting. 2 is fast, 1 is low, and it has a powerful drive. When you go to 2, it's faster but not as strong. So we'll go ahead and use that. I fumble with this because my hand is still swollen still, but it's usable. Let me try to time that up a little bit. Okay, so we're pretty good. We're gonna drive this in straight. I put my chest into it if I can. There we go. I don't go crunching down on it too much because I may want to float the door up or down, but that's pretty good where I can still move the door. But in this case, if I do want to move the door, I'll use a shim. I can take that shim out. And if you look here, the bubble is just a little bit going this way. So if I want, I can take that shim.
Well, when you timed it, it's kind of moved a little bit, so it's probably lifting up on one end.
I don't know, is that dead center? Maybe I'm just looking at it wrong.
Oh yeah, it is dead center.
If I go up, looks dead center. I think I'm happy with it. Let's just check it in a different location. Look at that, almost dead center right there. I'm on a weld, that's why.
Yeah, dead center.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna look at the door. Now I want to do a visual because sometimes this can lie because this is warped or something. But see, I think if I'm looking at the door, I can tell that top part is down a little bit. Even though that says level here or almost level, when I put it on this bar, look guys, it's not level. And then when I look, I can visually see I'm going downhill. So I think this is a good bar to go off of to level, because not only can I see it's not level here, I can visually see it's sloping that way. Can you see how you can see more stucco molding over there? So now watch, I'm just gonna play with it. Give me those shims because I don't need them no more. And let's go ahead and put, let's put the, leave them. Let's put the skinny parts underneath about like this, okay, and see if that don't level it out. I can lift it for you if you want.
I got it.
All right, I got it. Let's see, I'll tell you, let's see if that's level now. Boy, that looks level. Visually it looks level. And this way it's a little too much, so if you want, take that first shim out and leave the second. Now let's see what we got. Now my level is dead on, and it looks level up there too. Let me put the level up there.
That's level.
That's level. Okay guys, that's dead on. So we're gonna drill it there. So let's get another hole going here.
Want me to do it? You
Ah, yeah, right now. If you want, you can do the top one. It's harder on the top. Okay, I'm gonna get that straight as possible. When you're drilling, you can see I'm actually getting into wood with a masonry, but that's fine, it works. Clean, let this flute work. In and out, because if you notice, you'll hit like a dead end where you don't want to go no more. If you just retract and bring it back in and clean all that out, then it goes in further. Okay, now this one I cinched up a little bit more than I did this one. And that's good enough. Now, Vinny, go ahead and drill that one nice and straight. And then you can put the... I think this is Vinny's second door, but he's never really... He was more like just holding it for me on the first one. So, we'll forgive him if he...
I like this.
Yeah, fun. Yeah, funny. Vinny's 24-hour comedian show.
That's right.
Always cracking jokes. Hi. It's good.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, well.
Start off slow until you feel it grab. No, keep it. There you go. Put your weight into it.
Yeah, I can see them.
Good job.
More.
That's it. Perfect. I can see here it's nice to the wall. Okay guys, now what we got here, remove those shims. We don't need these shims no more. Just open the door. There you go. Okay, so now what we got is this door is functioning good. And you always hear that first little pop until you wear in the hinges. I like to open and shut it a few times to let it settle wherever it wants to settle. I even kind of just push on a little bit, open it. That way it's gonna go where it wants to go before we put this guy on. Okay, so this is where people make the mistake most of the time. Let me show you guys. What people do is they go to put this in. First of all, you gotta see you got to see right here. Do you want this to the inside or do you want those holes to the outside? Do you flip it around? Okay. The thing about it is if you look here, what I do is I line it up here without the door closed, and I see if these holes match over here. And I can see they don't match. Can you show? So you see how the holes don't match there? You can see the inner hole. Now I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to take it like this. Now I'm going to put the holes to the outside. So you come over here, and you can see they're almost 100%. They actually line up better. So that means when you shut the door, this flat piece is going to hit here, and the holes are going to line up like that. If I go the other way, watch one more time. If I go this way, and then I come this way, like this. Hello, then the holes. Hi, how are you?
Good.
If you go this way, the holes don't line up as good this way. You see what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. So you always want to flip this around like this and test right here like this, and then you figure out what you got. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All right, so let's do that. Guys, these are called drywall shims. They come 48. This one's already been cut down, but they come, I think, 48 inches, and I think they're a 1/16 of an inch thick, and you can double them up, triple stack them. What I like to do is I like to cut 6 pieces, and I like to tape them, and I like to double them up, and I like to put them right here. I like to bring out the door about 1/8 of an inch here, 1/8 of an inch here, 1/8 of an inch there, and then I push my bar against it. I drill my holes, and that way when the job is all done, this won't rub this. Most of the people install these at home and they end up with the door rubbing this, and then you're kind of screwed. You know, you have to start tweaking it. So if you just remember this trick with the shims. So right now I'm going to go cut this into 6 pieces, 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 6 pieces, and then I'll show you how we tape it onto the door with masking tape, and then we'll move forward. Okay guys, what we did was we measured pieces 5, because that piece we divided it by 6 pieces. It comes to 5 inch each. So basically we put them together. This is the way I have the best luck. It looks like it's a lot of space, but you'll notice that this door, if you look at the stucco molding, how it bevels this way, sometimes your screw rides along there and this thing wants to bevel to the right sometimes. It's just a matter of how well you get it to the flattest part of the area when you're doing this side. But putting these on will guarantee that you still have enough throw for your deadbolt, and this will lock without rubbing. So you could put one piece, but I found on a couple occasions that I put one piece because this was warped, and whatever mistake I made or whatnot ended up with a little rub here, and I had to loosen the bolts and put some shims behind it and shim it out. So this way you can't go wrong, and it still fits good. You still got the whole throw of the security bolt. You know, it works out. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these in 3 spots. Bring it over here, Vinny. We're going to take these, we taped them together as you can see. We're going to go ahead and we're going to tape one. You don't want to tape on the welds though. Just go ahead and tape one here, and then I like to do one by the lock, either on the top or the bottom, and then one down there. So we'll get this taped up for you, and we'll get it on video for you. Okay guys, he's got it all done there, as you can see, all shimmed up. And I like to bring this one down.
You want me to put that down?
No. I like to have this one towards the locks, because it's important that you get that space equal. And then we got one down there. So now what that'll allow me to do, it'll allow me to put this against here, and I can push tight, really tight, and hold it in place and squeeze it in as much as possible, and I'll have a nice equal space. And then let me explain to you this. It's always better to have a little too much room than not enough room, and your door is going to rub, because then what you have to do is you have to loosen these bolts up right here. Show. You have to loosen these bolts up because it's rubbing here, and then you have to put some shims in here to bring it out like that so it doesn't rub, and hopefully it doesn't rub here, because once the holes are drilled you can't maneuver them, you can't re-drill them or space them, because there's going to be too much wiggle. So it's better.
You're saying if you tighten it too much that this little slope could make you slanted?
Yeah, but if you have that extra little bit of room in there with the drywall shims, you're better off to have just a little bit too much room than not enough. Gotcha. Because to get the room back is really difficult. And then when people come through and they look at it and they see all these shims right here, because it's rubbing and you had to bend it out.
I get what you're saying now.
You should see what people do to try to make it fit after they drill it. So I'd rather have a little bit too much than not enough. Now what we do is here, we hold it over here, and you can see that I'm still going to have plenty of overlap here. I'm going to put my finger where the overlap is, guys. Look, I'm right here. Now watch, I'm going to remove it. You still have all that as a door stop. That's all that basically is a door stop. So let's go ahead and let's do it and see how she comes out. So okay, now what we're going to do here is, we know that this has got to be outward. We already went through that. So we're going to put this guy in. And now what you have to do is, if you screw this part up, to find, it's more about being level. You've got the shims in there. The shims will address the issue of how far in, how far out. That's what the shims are for. But now what we have to do is we have to put that on top and put a level on it. That way we get this high enough to where it's going to be, because if it's too much, the top rail is going to slope. If it's not, it's going to slope this way. And if you notice, this is about 1/8 of an inch over. So yeah, you could probably just lift it the same like this, if there's, and measure that and make that the same. But if you got more than 2 hands, then you might as well put the top rail and level it out and then drill your first hole. So let's put this camera somewhere where you can get like a view and view it in on the top. Let's go back even more. I want to go way back. Okay, so I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna focus up here, guys. Okay. What you're gonna do, Vinny, is you're gonna take this top rail and you're gonna set it and on top here, and then I'm gonna pick the height. We don't have to worry about in and out because that's done by the shims. Let me get a drill bit here. Let me see if I can get it all in over here. Okay. I'll take that.
Is there any preferences?
Yeah, you want the holes always to go up.
Yeah.
And it does make a difference. What a lot of people would say, well, it doesn't make a difference while you're just marking it if it goes this way or that way, because you're not going to bolt it. You're just using it for a level. It does matter. These things don't come straight. They come warped. So if you happen to level it this way and then you flip it this way, it might not be sitting perfect. So you always want to sit it the way you're going to screw it in. So we're going to screw it in with the holes to the top where you grab more meat. If you put it to the bottom, you might be in the stucco molding. This way you'll catch between the stucco and the stucco molding. So go ahead and take that, put your level on here.
Shit. I'm gonna put it to where it's level.
Yeah, let me just put this in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, put it, mark it where you want it. Push the side down where I'm at. Tell me, use my rail to go up or down. You want a screw?
Go up.
Let me give you a screw to put
Oh
in.
yeah, I got
You
it.
got it? You can put that screw in there and you can raise it up or down, wherever you want. Okay? There you go. Grab onto that. And then put it where you want it.
Get the right gap edge on top. It's decent.
Go by the level. So he's raising my rail up or down to get it level.
Go down. Right there.
Okay, right there?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go right here and I'm gonna make sure I get the hole dead center. If I ride the hole to the bottom or the top, it's gonna change the height of this rail. So I'm gonna try my hardest to get right smack in the center here. Okay, so now keep it there. Let's put a screw there and hope for the best. And usually I just put one to test it. That way, if I did make a mistake, I can take this one out and I still have two holes to make my correction, and then just slap this one in any way it wants to go. But do one first, make sure it's right, and then if it is, do the other two. And if not, you can take this one out and you got still two fresh holes you can work with. And here's the other thing, guys. Let me bring the camera over here. You want to make sure that you do get that. By having 1/8 of an inch coming out, it guarantees your door won't be riding on this bolt. A lot of times you'll set this too far in and two things will happen. It'll rub, and then this rail will be sitting on this bolt keeping your door out, and then your locks don't want to work right, and then you have to grind the tube in order to get your locks to catch on the deadbolt in there. So if this happens to be riding here and hitting there, where a lot of times it does, if you don't get it right, then you have to make adjustments with a grinder in here. So let's go ahead and we're going to test that just to see how it looks, and then we'll re-level it. This is going to be excellent. So we're good. So let's go ahead and let's put the bottom one in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you take that top rail off so it don't hit me in the head.
Yeah.
And you're going to push this one in while I drill it. The important part is to keep this kicked in all the way. Okay, Vinny's going to come here and he's going to kick that rail in for me. Keep it tight to the shims. If you could, kick it up as close as you could, like put your foot in more of an angle. There you go. There we go, nice and tight. Okay, you're gonna do the same thing to the top, because guys, these things aren't straight. These are bowed. You can see it's bowed. You can see how it's flaring out. So when you drill them, have somebody or yourself hold it into the shim. Let me show you up here. Sorry. If you look over here, this bar is not straight. So you can see it's wanting to come out. So you got to hold it in before you drill it like that. So if you want, go ahead and hold that in for me. And I'll drill it. I'm right-handed, so I'll put this to the right. I'll take a drill.
Let me set the camera up.
Right? Oh, yeah. Go right ahead. Okay, so. I think I can hold
Do you have
it.
a screw?
You can bring one. I think I can
hold it.
I got it, actually.
I can do a watch.
Okay. Push on the inner more part, the flatter. There you go.
Switch. I'll move that.
Can you push between my shoulder, my right hand shoulder? It's getting rough. Thank you. Okay, that's tight enough. Okay, now you see how this door is nice and tight? It doesn't want to open because I got that frame pushed against those shims really good. When we take these off, I don't want to build these up, so I like to take the tape off like this. That way I keep them from gradually building up. You know what I mean, Benny? So we'll take these like that. We'll take them like that. Take the.
I'll handle it.
Okay, so look here. Okay. See, look at that. I'm barely clearing. So that's why you want to go 1/8 of an inch. I've got about a 1/16 of an inch right here. But look, it misses the bolts. It shuts without rubbing, and we're doing good. The easiest part of this whole door would be the top rail. So we're going to do that next. Okay, guys, we're going to. Okay, we're going to put this guy up now. So,
Holes up.
yeah, the holes go up. I'm going to set it right on top of the rail. Now, this has some space.
Yeah.
You want to make sure they're equally, like, you just kind of eyeball. You don't have to put a tape measure on it, just look at it. And if you got a good eye, you can tell that's going to go a little bit more. And that, to me, is perfect. So it's not that critical that you get a tape measure, unless you want to.
No, it looks good.
Okay, so now I'm going to again try to get a dead ass screw in there, drill, because I don't want it to shift left or right. So if you could, let me just.
Yeah, these man. And then you
Okay. Can you, yeah. Okay. Take that. Can I have the, drill? Man, guys, when you're under eaves like this, before you get your head up in here, check for wasp nests. I've had a few occasions where I'm doing like I did now.
I was just going to say that.
And I've actually had them buzzing around my head. Luckily, I didn't get stung, but. Okay. I'll tell you when to push. Let me get it started. Okay, just a little bit on my shoulder. Okay. Pretty good too.
This one takes the cake?
Yeah, that was good too. I'll give that to you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome. Okay guys, we got this in, looking good. We got it all tidied up. We got the, let's try it out. So we got it like this. Frame looks good. You can see how this frame wanted to tweak in a little bit because you're riding the stucco molding, and that's where you always end up. If you go away this way, then you're going to be on here, and anybody can rip that off. You want to be at least in the jamb and not the stucco molding. But now the locks seem to going to line up perfect right here. So we're going to put the locks on. We'll go from there. We're going to do a quick cleanup and then we'll do the locks. Okay guys? Hey guys. I said that I was about 1/8 of an inch, or almost 3/16 of an inch, and I thought that was a little bit too much, but it's been working for me. Then he actually pulled the instruction, and it does say a 3/16 inch gap right here. So we're in there. Mine's a little less, but hey, it works good. All right, we're gonna get these locks on, guys. Okay guys, we're gonna use the smart locks, the Quickset smart locks. They're $60-something, 64 or something. The reason why is there's a good chance that his front key, if it fits this hole, then you can key it with a tool, so one key fits all. For instance, he's got a, I don't know, this looks like a Quickset. So whatever key he's got here, this might be a Schlage or Quickset, but if his key will at least just go in the hole, then this lock can be keyed to this with a little tool. So we're gonna go ahead and put these on here and see if we can't key his other locks when he gets home. All right guys, let's see here. He's gonna put these locks on.
So this one is gonna go, let me see where the camera's at. Got a little ramp. You want the door to close like that, so it slides right in. So we're gonna put that facing the door. Is that new? That piece?
Yeah, and remember, here guys, this is one thing I should tell you about these doors. When you're dealing with a wood door or whatever, normal door, you use the screws. I don't know if you can see, it's wood, and then it comes the machine screw. Do you have a screw that's all wood, or are they all four like that? Okay. Well, that's for the strike plate, but on the cylinders, you should have four cylinders.
It came with 2 screws, or 4 screws, and that's what you're saying.
Yeah, are they all the same?
Well, in that package,
I'm going to show them. Let me have that one. That way I can show them what's going on. Let me have the drill tip. Yeah, that way they can see it.
Here's the other package.
Okay. Guys, these screws come double threaded. If you're going into wood, it catches with the top part of the screw and goes all the way in. But if you're dealing with security doors, they're thinner. So what happens is this goes through it, but then you see here it's down to a fine thread right here. I don't know if you can see it. So you got your wood thread, and then you got your metal thread right here. So it works on wood doors or metal doors. So no matter if you're going into a security door, that's why they put this here, because the security door is real thin. And if you notice, your machine threads are slightly larger than the wood threads. So this kind of makes the hole, but then this guy will catch it, and so you can see the 2 different threads on there.
These are the rest of the screws. There's not much.
Yeah. So here's the ones for wood. See, this is for just wood. These aren't for cylinders. These are for your strike plates. This is for a strike plate. The one he's putting in with the 2 different threads on it is for the security doors. He should have 4 of those.
So this package
has 2 more. You should get 4 screws that are double threaded, wood and machine. Here it is. Here you go. Here you got the wood thread here, and then on the bottom you got the machine for sheet metal threads. So he's going to run that in, and because you can mix them up, you could end up using the one that's all wood for this door, and then what happens is they break loose and they wiggle. But so make sure that if you got a security door, you pick out the 4 screws that are made for security doors.
So we're going to install this one. It says up right here, so we'll keep it up.
Okay. I just dumped it right here.
Thank you.
I'll put some more stuff in there. I think that's everything.
So these, let me see. These have a little quick release. Push down, but you can't push down too much because the screw head right there. Just push down a little bit and twist it. Come off. But this one, see it's loose. I want to line it up, and let me put this down first. You want to line these up before you lock them in. Have a little dot into there. Same with this side. I'm gonna do this off camera real quick.
It looks like they got some people
There you go.
over there. It looks like they got some people working over there. That's what keeps it. It bites in. It keeps it from turning. The other way, it's smooth on smooth, and they twist. Let's try it out. They're made for doors and security. Anyway, you get the camera, or maybe I'll frame it low like this, look, and then up like that. Look at that. There we go. I guess we could put that in a trash can in for him.
Yeah, after we're done.
Yeah, after we're done.
Look, done with this one. I'll look at it.
Yeah, that's fine. Just, yeah, it'll keep it from spinning. If you take those out, then you won't have nothing to bite in, and then they twist up and they move. But if you turn it tight enough and get it as tight as you can without affecting this, you're good to go.
That's it.
Okay, so.
So next we're going to install this. The deadbolt part. It has a little shape of a D. Same with this one. We're going to try to match this one up with this. Usually when you got the lock facing up and down, it's easier for you to get those 2 screws, so that's where I like to start. I'm going to put the D inside the hole. No pun intended. Then you got the inner plate. Let me show you. This guy. So on this plate, you got the back side. This also has to be facing up as well. So try to keep your thumb or fingers on the plate so you know which side's up, and it just stays that way. Now I'm gonna find the D and put it in the hole. Once I got it in the hole, I'm gonna push these things, push the screws in so I can rotate it and the plate will stay with me. Before I tighten it, slide it up. Let me get a Phillips. That way I can hand tighten it.
I'm gonna check the deadbolt, Vinny. See how it rides. Okay, that part is good. Okay, Vinny, we're gonna have to grind the deadbolt.
What?
We're gonna have to grind the deadbolt. It's hitting right here. Look, guys. When I went to test it, this deadbolt is hitting. If you wiggle it, the deadbolt will go in. But if you got the door shut, it's rubbing right here. So we're gonna take a little wheel. I'm sorry. When we shut the door, if you wiggle it, the cylinder will go in here. But if you got the door pushed all the way in, the deadbolt hits about right here. So we're gonna take a little bit off with a grinding wheel just to make that work right. Show them how it hits. Watch. Locks good this way, guys. Boom. And you gotta wiggle it a little bit, but if you go in, watch. If you happen to be pushing, it rubs a little bit.
So
if you were to push in,
on it,
yeah,
it doesn't work.
Right. So we're gonna relieve that a little bit. I mean, it's good enough. I mean, you could leave it like that and just wiggle it and it goes right in. But
Well, let me try
some people like to push on it when they turn it, and then what happens is it won't lock.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Go in all the way with it though. Push on it.
Yeah, but if you're
Right. Like that and it hits.
and then it hits, yeah.
So we're gonna grind a little bit off of there. Let me go get a grinding wheel. Let me just clean this shit off. Okay, let's try it out, guys. See how it works. So now, if he happens to be pushing on the door like that, look at that. Look at that. It doesn't rub no more. Let me just clean it up now. We're good to go, guys. Now, we'll go ahead and we'll lock his door. We'll paddle lock this one first. Let me get some pictures for him. I'm going to send him a link to the video, but...
Look at the man, the myth, the legend, the dad.
Yeah, right. Alright, guys, we're all done. Everything looks good. Everything's locked up. Hopefully this will make him feel better. Ready to go? Okay, let's go pack everything up. Let's lock his gate. Where's the keys?
Go on my head.
Okay, I'm gonna put them with the remote and keep them until he comes home. Alright guys, we're gonna pick up and head out of here. You guys have a good Friday and a good weekend. I'll try to get this video posted. I think I got two, one for a toilet that we did on Thursday and this one. I think I'm gonna post this one first. So, alright guys, talk to you later.